All right, I kind of want to do just a quick little survey here. Who in this room has a podcast that they listen to on the regular? Anyone? No? How about a YouTube creator that they're subscribed to? What about a news platform that you frequent on the regular? Any news platform, a newspaper, online, your feed. Now here's an important question. Who supports them monetarily? Who actually here donates to their work? Your YouTube creator, your podcaster, your news platform. Why is it that we expect news, media, and internet services to be free? I want you to think about this. Everyone is fighting for our attention. Every second to these companies, 1 extra second on a video, 1 more click, a few more moments to that app, they're using you to gather your data. Think about this. When you pay, you're the customer, not the product. Those so-called free websites aren't free. Companies like Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat all have teams that specifically study your browsing habits, your psychology, your behavior, and they sell that information to marketing companies. Then these marketing companies take that data in order to sell you more things. Who in here has ever gone and scrolled on Facebook or gone through Google, and you look at the little ads that are on the side and you're like, how do they know? But it's more elaborate than that. The more they know your habits, your preferences, your sexual orientation, and even something as specific as your risk tolerance. They record what ads we see, and they team up with firms that monitor our behavior in real life to determine the susceptibility of us for their campaigns. Then they give it to the highest bidder who can walk in to buy a block of your time so you can see the information. So in other words, if I was a high-paying marketing firm, I could go up to Facebook and be like, I'm looking for a single white female, ages 22 to 35, high risk tolerance adventures for our fall yoga cruise. And Facebook would be like, perfect. Here is the group of people that all liked Lululemon yoga pants and pumpkin spice lattes. And they would just throw that information to the highest bidder. And that's information, that's basically how the transaction works. Now, why is this bad? You may be thinking, so what? I don't care if they sell my data. The products they've tried to sell to me are actually awesome anyway. Or I can just ignore the ads anyway. Well, the reason why this is a problem is that you're allowing yourself to be exploited and manipulated in ways that you don't even realize. If you're on Facebook going through your feed, your news and information diet is geared to geared to give your attention and clickbait essentially. People are engineering algorithms to get your attention. For example, if you stumble upon a video of police beating up an unarmed black man, or a guy throwing puppies into a river, you're going to feel outrage. We don't choose when we're outraged or any of our emotional reactions to these things. They just happen. It's a response. We have no control over what would make us upset, happy, or sad. And maybe you realize, maybe the people at Facebook and Google realize that you click more on news and information that confirms what you already believe in, ideas that you already have. Whatever aisle that you're on for the political, religious, or ideological spectrum. So in other words, they have crafted an algorithm that now tunes you to only receive information that confirms what you already believe in and sends you down a rabbit hole of basic confirmation bias. And if you haven't already realized this is bad because we're being passive to a small group of companies that have literally can engineer our emotions, our actions, and our beliefs. One look at your Facebook feed or a Google News update can give you feelings you weren't even intending of having that day. These companies are buying blocks of your time to engineer reactions to get you to do something. Remember, you're the product, not the customer. And this is very surface level understanding of this business model. We honestly don't know how far of a reach Facebook and these companies have with what they understand with us and what they do with that information. This is probably the most advanced and invasive privacy by advertisers that the world has ever seen. So what does this mean for journalism specifically? Because we have an expectation that news should be free, newspaper and journalism companies, big and small, have had to limit their coverage, change their coverage, or just shut down entirely. And if you think CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC are just 24-hour terror stations to scare you, then you understand what I mean. They're fighting for your attention because you are the product, not the customer. They need your attention for advertisers. News is a business. The goal is not to inform, it's to maximize profits, period. So what's the solution? Well, it's simple. Be a customer, not a product. Support good media and good journalism. Get on Patreon and support your YouTube creators, your podcasters. Subscribe to your news outlets. I recently subscribed to The Economist, the Chicago Tribune, and the World Affairs Journal from the National Security Council. We have to support these journalisms, or else we're going to let politicians run amok. What happens when we lose our journalism? When you're a paying customer, you're no longer the product, and the relationship changes. You're a supporter, and the livelihood of these companies depends on your support. They now exist to serve us. Our expectations of free internet services are just the problem. Because we, the users, have decided that we want everything on the internet to be free, it has forced these companies to target us for ads, to make billions of dollars. We are now under constant surveillance in exchange for these free services. We don't want to live in a world where a small group of companies have the power to engineer what ideas, information gets spread, or a world where the New York Times front headline is 37 incredible things for your cat you had no idea you needed, and you won't believe number 23, while corrupt politicians and businessmen run amok completely unchecked. So I urge you to support good media and to help create a new economy for the internet. We have the power to vote with our dollar and create a future that limits what these companies can do with our data, and pay for the sites that actually put our interests first. If you want to learn more about this issue, please watch Tristan Harris's TED Talk or his interview on 60 Minutes. It has a lot of information of what this is. Tristan Harris was a digital ethicist for Google. And I want to leave you with this one last question. We've all heard the saying, you vote with your dollar. Well, what will we get if no one votes with it? Thank you.